Here we are, somewhere in the sugarcane jungles of far north Queensland, and I want to tell you guys a little story about my first and only motorcycle crash and how that made me a better rider. Let's get into it. So this story is for anyone who's afraid of having a crash and what that might mean, or have had one and they're a bit scared to come back on the bike. But I'm going to tell you why, in my case, it was actually something that made me a better rider. Opened my eyes to my weaknesses and my inexperiences, and just got me into much better habits that in the long run are going to keep me safe on the road a lot more than I was. Alright, so let's set the scene. I was a new rider. I reckon I've been riding for about a year and a half. I was still on my first bike, which was a Yamaha XVS 400 dragster. And I was loving the bike, you know, I was loving riding. I was riding to work every day. But one thing I wasn't doing was practicing. And I reckon that's what could have got me out of this one. So it was about 11:30 at night and I was heading home from work. I was working in the city at this restaurant. I'm a chef there, or I was. And I was heading home after a long day, loving the night air, being on the bike. There wasn't too much traffic on the street, so it was just a beautiful ride home. Completely uneventful all the way to about 1 block from my house. So yeah, I was coming to this T intersection and I had the green light and I thought, yeah, all good. Scan for traffic. And as I got a bit closer to the intersection, I did see there was another car approaching from my right. And they looked like they were slowing down because they had the red light. And I'm like, okay, I'll trust this guy. So I'm rolling through at about 60 kilometers an hour, which is the speed limit. And as I start to go into the intersection, this guy is coming in the intersection as well. And I'm like, oh shit, he's not fucking stopping. And in that moment, my inexperience is what got me in trouble, because I'm sure I could have emergency braked, or I'm sure I could have accelerated out of danger, or done some sort of evasive swerve and got myself out of that situation. But as it was, I thought, there's no way he's not going to hit me here. And it all, like they say it does, it went into slow motion and I just grabbed a fistful of the front brake. And all I remember then is the front wheel obviously just locked up straight away, pulled to the right, and I saw his headlights coming. I saw the bike fall down and skid on the road, sparks shooting out, and I went flying over the high side. Luckily I was wearing a leather jacket, leather gloves, my helmet, Kevlar jeans, but I was wearing my Vans sneakers. And when I hit the deck, I landed on my knee and my elbow and went skidding down the road. I think my helmet even sort of kissed the ground for a second, and my shoes went flying off. So like ever since then I'm like, man, you've got to wear the right shoes. Like, you just don't know when some arsehole is going to blow that red light. Luckily for me, it was actually a really minor accident as far as injuries. Like, I barely had a scratch on me. because I was wearing all that gear, I just sort of slid down the road and my shoes flew off. But I was able to get up, brush myself off, take my helmet off, see the bike lying on the road, and then I saw the driver hopping out of his car, and you will not believe who it was. Here I was in a city of millions on the other side of the city from where I worked, and the guy that hops out is the guy that washes dishes at the restaurant I was working at. I was just like, you have got to be kidding me. What the hell are you doing to me? Why are you trying to kill me? You know, we work together, brother. So of course he was freaking out. He wanted to take me to hospital, and I was like, no, it's all good. Like, the bike is fucked. And he knew it was a red light. This is the thing that gets me. He knew it was a red light, and he chose to blow through it. He's tired, he just wants to go home. Said he didn't see me at all. This is the people that are out there trying to get you every day. But this brings me to the point of the whole video, and that is, having that accident really woke me up a bit. It opened my eyes to what I should have been able to do, and I should have been able to get out of that situation. And I could have saved the bike, and I could have saved myself. And basically all that was just going back and practicing those drills that you learn in the license course, you know? Do your evasive maneuvers, you know, watch a ton of videos on YouTube. There's some awesome guys out there. I just put it all into practice, and I just felt better than I ever did before. A lot more confident, a lot more, you can just enjoy the ride more. But in that moment when you feel your wheels lock up and you feel your bike going down, you're gonna wish you'd just done some practice. So there you go, friends, that's a bit of story time for you. And it's not a doom and gloom story by any means. It's more of a fable about the importance of leveling up your skills, which is just going to make you have more fun on the bike anyway, you know. But I hope you got something out of it, whether, you know, you've had your own crash and you want to come back to riding, which can be a bit freaky, or whether you're afraid you're going to have a crash at some point. These are ways you can kind of avoid that, you know. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you get something out of it, and I will catch you in the next one. Ta-ta, bye-bye.